Jamie's mommy's a mummy.
That's terrible.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to 5. You co-sign 5, right?
Okay, so when I was talking to Mike earlier, 4 and 5 are there's some years where I like 4 more than 5, and there's some years where I like 5 more than 4. It's a toss up between the two. I mean, I like it. But
you want to set off 5, or you want Iron Mike to set off 5?
Let Iron Mike set off 5.
I'll set off 5, and here's my notes on the pros for 5, and I will say this: obviously, the intro with the pumpkin on 1 and 2 is ill.
Right.
Having said that, the intro with this one on the pumpkin, where it's like, it's carving, that was good.
Yeah.
That sets you up for something like, okay, maybe
I have that too. Ill intro showing,
Yeah.
That was a great callback to 1 and 2, and I liked how they did that because we missed that. We didn't have that in 3. We didn't have it in 4.
I thought the theme again was good enough.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That was
passable.
No, that makes sense because again, I think it was only Alan Hayworth doing it.
Was it? Okay.
John Carpenter kind of just left, and again, they're just doing the same motifs that they did before. So I agree with that.
Another plus, again, I like the rain sequences. I like that kind of vibe. So there was a real rainy mood there.
What do you think of the cinematography?
I didn't care for it. To me, it wasn't. To me, it was just like point and shoot. It wasn't.
You know why, right?
Really, why?
The director, I heard the cinematographer said the director wanted more of a European look in terms of cinematography.
I didn't even know
He goes to how he wanted them shot was something that was very common for European films in
that's
that
why they
day.
went with that. Okay.
And again, his name was Dominique, and I forgot his last name. He only did one other movie, which
He's a French guy, right? Yeah.
Yes, he did Amityville 4, the TV movie.
Well, I saw something on the making of, I think it was 5, where he was saying this is going to be one of the better ones up there with the original.
He wanted it that way. I will say this about 5. 5 had the enthusiasm of a horror movie director. 4 was good, but I don't think Dwight Little was a horror movie director, in my opinion. I could be wrong. That's not a derogatory statement.
Right.
And none whatsoever. Carpenter is, like Eric, so Spawn and I were talking earlier, right? A good example is this. The Exorcist is a new Hollywood movie. What is a new Hollywood movie? It's a movie where it's a director's film. The director just wants to tell a story, beginning, middle, and end. Doesn't matter what genre. He just wants to tell a story, right? Where Halloween was directed by a horror movie fanatic, a horror movie director, a guy who only wants to do horror movies or sci-fi movies. It's John Carpenter. So you can tell the difference between Halloween 4, where he was a director who's going to tell a story in this genre.
Right.
Where Halloween 5, it was directed by a guy who wants to only direct this genre.
Gotcha.
And I felt 5 was more aggressive. Again, I'm sure the hurdles he came up with was what anybody came up with in the late 80s, namely Friday the 13th Part 8 and Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5.
Right.
They wanted to get grimier, and again, they got their nuts chopped by the rating boards on that, because again, it's still in the 80s and you still could only show so much. So they wanted to go hard, and they wound up getting their legs cut off at the knees at the finish line. And this is what happened with 5. And that's my take on it thus far. And I'll let you go ahead and finish what you were saying on 5 at this point.
Okay, I had 2 more pros, about the movie. There's a moment where Loomis walks to the forest and kind of speaks to the darkness as he's speaking to Michael. He's telling him to come home. I thought that was done well.
Oh yeah,
I liked that moment. And then the second moment that I liked with Loomis is when Loomis collapses on Michael's chest after that squabble they have in the house, and to me, that kind of brought them together to the closest that they've ever been, since he was his doctor. So to me, it had a couple of good elements.
Right.
But the list on the cons is quite a bit longer. Starting with the mask. Mm-hmm. The mask was terrible.
But it was better than 4. Well, anything could be better than 4.
Yeah. I think mask-wise. To me, the hairline was a little too high.
Well, Michael's getting older,
Michael looked like fucking Woody Woodpecker in a fucking Halloween mask.
And the way they rested the mask on him.
Nose. You see that fucking cone on that nose? It looked like he was gonna fucking peck someone's eye out.
Well, the mask was off his shoulders too, sticking out.
Yes, I hate
that.
Oh, I know, it was horrible.
Every
everybody who wore the mask, it was underneath the fucking grease monkey suit. This one's like, here, let me just put it on right fucking here, and this looks so fucking sloppy.
It looks terrible. And then I'm gonna quote Spawn on this when we did the Star Wars one, when he was referring to Terrence Stamp. Remember, you said they had Terrence Stamp and they did nothing with my dude.
Yeah.
I felt the same way about Danielle Harris not being able to speak for the majority of the movie, and she didn't like that either, by the way.
Right.
She did speak towards the end, small line.
I still felt that she was effective, and I thought her acting skills shined.
Yeah, I liked it.
I thought it worked.
I didn't like the
but
whole...
I agree with you and her.
Yeah.
I like her talking more.
Sure.
You know.
And that whole forced language between her and Michael. Awful.
I have it right here. I hate the E.T. Elliot psychic connection. I think that shit is fucking whack.
Basura,
I liked it.
Say,
I'm not gonna lie. I liked it.
No, I don't like supernatural shit with Mike.
Then why the hell do you watch it? Then he always has something new. He's supernatural.
He's supernatural to us, but not to that world. To that world.
So in Michael Myers, if in Halloween 1, what psychic connection does Laurie have with Michael Myers?
Isn't it weird that he was stalking her the most?
There's a theory out there that he's actually stalking Annie.
No, I don't think so, because he could have killed Laurie and he didn't. He purposely missed and hit her arm instead to make her fall. He could have fucking nailed her right then and there. He doesn't miss.
So you think it's a psychic connection that they have?
Yes, because they're brother and sister.
You're reaching, brother.
Hey, it's a power of the druids. We'll get into it though.
I already touched on Loomis and how it's just kind of tiresome.
But going back to what you were saying, though, wait, hold on, but let's finish about Danielle Harris's acting. I did, and I hear her what she said in terms of she wished she could have talked more. I did like the fact that she couldn't talk in the beginning because that shows the repercussions of 4. And
there's an explanation.
I was good with that.
Right. Now this is where Loomis gets a little awkward, and especially with Danielle, when he's screaming at her, he's grabbing at her. Face to face, where's it? And it's just really bizarre behavior for me. This is really, to me, where Loomis probably his role should have been cut down. Yeah, I think so. You got to rewatch it because he's.
I did.
Is it because he's desperate though? Is it because at this point
he's
desperate? Is he himself tired because this guy has been a thorn in his ass for so long and he can't escape from this nightmare?
That's a good point.
Now is he now mentally breaking down? Because I noticed that too.
That's a good point.
He's losing his patience because this is what he's consumed in. When you're trapped in shit, that's what's always going to come out of you. He's already broken now. Michael already damaged him.
Yep.
He's been burnt.
Physically.
Yep. That's a valid point.
People put the blame of Michael Myers on him. He's already dealt with so much that guess what? He's now damaged goods at this point.
Right.
So him losing his patience with Danielle
is understandable.
Is reflective of the continuity of the series of what he's had been dealt with, which would only make sense at this point.
That's fair.
Right. And not only that, I liked Unraveled Loomis, and I think he had the best lines. Let me quote this line. He says,
5? Okay.
Yeah, in 5. He had a great line in 5, and it's probably one of the stronger lines in the whole thing. And I hate 5. So anyway, but it goes, I pray that he will burn in hell, but I know that hell will not have him.
Yep.
That shit sounds like the way he says it. It's so simple. Anyone else says it, it's like but it's like poetry coming out of his mouth. It's like when Tarantino writes for the German guy
he's awesome.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And or when Tarantino writes for Samuel Jackson.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it sounds like poetry with him saying these lines, and it just works. I love Loomis. I think I'm biased. I'm gonna be honest. I'm biased with Loomis.
Yeah, that's fine,
but I there's some great points in this, but there's a lot of shit. So let me. I'm almost done. Then we'll get right to it.
I'm sorry. Annoying as fuck boyfriends. Across the board.
Don't even get me started.
Across the board. Period. You know what I mean? The one dude cleaning his car, then you got the other boyfriend. Just annoying.
With the knife thing.
The knife, yeah. Right.
I just, it's just common fodder. Like, I'm okay with that because no one cares about
it. It becomes Friday the 13th at that point.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, and then let's get to the Myers house. Obviously, it's different. We know why.
Right.
Yep.
Unacceptable in this franchise. Mm-hmm. Unacceptable. It doesn't even look like the neighborhood. It doesn't even look like the house. In my opinion, you can't do that here. You got to figure something out. You know what I mean?
In the 80s, I'm sure it was cheaper to film out Midwest, and that's something they were like, I'm sure Mustafa was like, they'll be fine with it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's reasons for all that. But I mean,
I agree with Mike, and I agree with Vito. It's just,
not feeling the tear coming out of Michael's eye.
I kind of like that, actually.
Okay. Do you?
Because it represents his rage. Like, he's fighting something. Like, whatever demons is pushing him, that represents something about him, and you'll never know. That's what I like about it, because it's like where that tear come from and what does it represent, and the fact that I don't know and it's so ambiguous. That's why I like it.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, and that's a good point. The last thing, my problem here is the stance, the Michael stance. He just holds the knife like this. It seems like for the majority of the time.
Run into my knife, please. Run into my knife. Yeah.
And again, that's because you didn't have a producer that was really strict, like, hey, we got to walk like this. what they did in the first 2 films, I want you to do. Work on that. And again, that's part of the producer, part of the director.
Right, and they failed.
Instilling,
That's a mistake, right?
Yeah, failed miserably.
And instilling the characteristics of the walk, because his walks and movement is very much part of the character, because he doesn't talk.
Sure.
So his movements do the talking for him.
Right. All right. So out of all of them, I think these have the most notes. I have a lot of notes on 5.
On 5, is that
because
right?
I despise 5 because they had so much momentum.
Right.
Excuse me. From 4 going into 5, and they really shit the bed. Daniel Harris acting, I thought she was on point.
Right.
But Tina was the friend, and she is the worst, most annoying fucking character.
Oh, yeah.
She is
horror movie history.
Hold on.
Hold on. No. She makes Shelly from fucking Friday the 13th.
Shelly's fucking awesome.
Look like fucking Robert De Niro, and she makes fucking Joey in Friday the 13th Part 5 look like Pacino in Godfather 2. You know what I'm saying?
Hold
She's
on.
fucking horrible. She makes me
really
angry.
okay.
Why are you so frustrated with her?
Wait. Her dance in the beginning, her fucking just her stupidity, she's just, and I feel bad. I feel bad.
Right.
Whoever wrote that shit for her or her act, I don't know who to blame. It's just an abomination on screen. It's just, it's god.
Now hear me out, and I get why you're saying that, right? Credit due to the actress to make you feel that much hatred for the character, because that tells you how talented the actress is.
But that's not her job. You were supposed to like her.
No,
we've
she's
discussed
an
this
annoying
a million
character.
times. But no, that's not where it works. We talked about that. 40 minutes ago.
She was designed to be annoying. And here's the thing: I know.
Why?
I was talking to the writers. She was directed by the director to be a certain way.
So it's okay.
Like I said, I agree with you.
I think she was trying to be. She was trying to be funny, and she was trying to be charming, and she was trying to be, like a goofy, funny character that stands out. But she failed miserably.
I disagree. I think it worked out that she was that annoying character. Credits due to the actress for pulling that off, because you have to be that great of an actor to pull that so much passion from you that you hate the character so much. She did her job, and she did her job well.
I think she did it. It was the opposite. I think she was trying to be charming, and it.
No. And here's the thing.
Yes.
And 2, I actually know someone in real life who has that same behavior and personality. So, goddamn.
Is she in a mental ward?
She should be, but she's not. But my point is this: you have to be one hell of an actor to bring out that passion of a fan watching a movie to be like, I hate this so much. You did a great job.
No, she did a bad job.
She did an
she was
amazing
trying
job.
to be funny. She was trying
to
be.
It was per the script, per the direction she was given.
No.
Yep.
Well, that may be the reason, but I think it failed. Don't you think?
Yes, on all levels, it failed.
I have her back. I have her back on this one.
Okay.
Look at Annie and the other ones. Totally. How iconic is Totally?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And she's
it wasn't
not annoying.
Right.
She wasn't annoying. She was a likable character.
Sure.
This chick was trying to do something similar, and it failed.
I disagree.
I hate the circus music with the cops.
Oh, we didn't even touch on it. Go ahead.
And they're running out, and they're just idiots.
Yeah, that was. You know
what I'm saying?
You know what?
I want to. One of your veto gives a pass for everything.
He gives a pass for everything. He likes everything bad. Howard the Duck. I'm telling you, bro.
First of all, Howard. Why are you bringing Howard in? I told you, leave Howard out of this shit.
Because that is your. You know what I'm saying? That
First of all, this.
He also likes vanilla. He also likes the Vanilla Ice movie, Cold as Ice. Go ahead.
Actually, it was cool. I saw the movie recently. It was a cool little fun movie. I'm not saying it was like fucking Oscar worthy, but it wasn't bad. What?
Cricket.
Hey, you say what you will, but it is what it is. But Howard the Duck, first of all, that movie is a cult classic.
No.
Watch the comments when this drops to be like, hey, motherfucker, Howard was dope. What you talking about?
That's right.
That was with Jessica Rabbit?
No, that was
the chick from
Leah Thompson. Leah Thompson.
What am I thinking?
Bestiality,
What was the one with Jessica Rabbit?
Bestiality.
Which is the movie with Jessica Rabbit?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yep.
Oh, so yeah.
That was
maybe that was Zemeckis.
So
yes.
So okay. So I didn't like all the Men in Black bullshit. I'm not a fan of the Thorn.
Yeah. What do you think about the Black Boot
I do
guy?
not like it.
I was cool with it. I thought it was a dope.
Especially if you look at Part 6, you see the reveal. It is just. I don't know. That whole thing is whack.
Even when he was shooting at the end, it looked like he had like a Tommy gun.
Yeah,
that was dope.
That
was dope. I don't know. I thought this shit was dope, dude.
He becomes an anti-hero in this one because the characters are annoying. So now you're rooting for Michael, which is defeating the purpose.
That's an interesting point. I like that.
You know what I'm saying? They're defeating the purpose.
First of all, don't use those characters as that. Everybody was rooting for the bad guy in the fucking 80s. We only went to see these movies to see them fuck up people. So don't be using these characters as an excuse. Oh, we were rooting for Michael in 4. We were rooting for Michael in 5.
No, that's not the point.
Rooting for Jason in 6.
You just agreed with me 40 minutes ago about failing when you turn you make the monster less a monster.
Well, at that point, it is what it is, right? I mean,
But you just contradicted yourself from 30 minutes ago.
I did not.
You co-signed what I said, and now I'm saying it again, and you're not co-signing.
I am co-signing. I'm just saying, first of all, we
Can
always
we
rooted for
play
the
it
bad
back
guy.
when he
We'll play
co-signs
it
it.
back.
All right.
Either way,
All right.
we're all rooting for the bad guys, whether it's Michael Myers, Jason
of
Voorhees,
course.
Freddy Krueger.
But wouldn't you be rooting for it more if he's killing someone that you actually care about?
Hold on, can I interrupt here?
Okay.
Real quick. We'll get right back to you guys. Another mask issue. The beginning of 5, by the way, gives you the ending of 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he falls down the thing and goes down to the water and ends up in dude's little camp, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When he collapses, when Michael Myers collapses, and I'm gonna attach some pictures so you can see. When he collapses behind the man and falls down or whatever,
Right.
it's the 5 mask, and it should not be.
Right.
It should be the 4 mask.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah, they totally failed.
So,
Yeah.
which makes you wonder: did they have both masks, and were they like, "Let's go with this one"? Was that like?
I don't know what the
they
fuck
probably
they were thinking.
said, they probably, like you said, Vito, back then, they're probably like, okay, this is the mask we have now. Let's shoot this flashback, or
There
what
you
happened
go.
before, which again is a mistake, but that's
Right.
probably what happened.
So, in my opinion, the strongest scene in this debacle called Halloween 5, was it Revenge of Michael Myers? Or,
Yeah, Revenge.
Okay. The strongest scene to me is when he's wearing the other mask and he's driving around the girlfriend. And I felt that was very 1978, very tense.
I did like that scene. That was a good scene.
That fit his personality.
I agree with you
on
there.
fucking with people
Yes,
and
agreed.
like getting close to them, but not letting them know.
Basically,
Kind of
he-
like Bob, right? With the
when he was wearing the white
right.
sheet over his head.
Right, Bob.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Yeah, so that scene I feel is the strongest.
That's a good point.
That's the strongest scene in the whole debacle of this movie. The barn scene, those
You're
characters.
being a little harsh by calling it a debacle.
Oh, it's an abomination.
The kills were whack. Well, go ahead.
Kills are whack. The barn scene is garbage. I couldn't wait for these characters to die.
Sure.
The guy with the knife, the stupid cops. And it's funny because for years they always said that Friday the 13th was a ripoff of Halloween, but Halloween 5 is a ripoff of the last of Friday the 13th movies of the mid 80s.
Oh, that's a bunch of horse
Total
shit.
ripoff.
That's a bunch of horse shit.
The unlikable characters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was just.
You didn't
badly
like
made.
Tina. I like Tina. That was her name.
You're
Tina.
the only one that liked Tina. I guarantee.
I'm sure she has plenty of fans out there.
And they probably belong in that home where your friend is. You know what I'm saying? The one that's just like.
Either way, they still fans out there, so you cannot say it's an abomination.
Okay. All right. Car chase scene was intense. I thought that was intense, but
Yeah,
come
that was
on.
good, that was good.
The more I watch it, that scene should have been over in 0.60
You were
seconds.
no,
you know what I'm
no,
saying?
no. And Spawn is right.
That's a
That-
1967 Camaro.
that
She
was
would've been
dragged out.
Roadkill.
Here's the thing though on that. So you're talking about that drag race. He should have killed him sooner. Remember, he walks. He can run if he wanted to, right? So he's probably chasing him just to fuck with him even more. Like,
Right.
yes.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool
Apparently,
with
Yeah,
he
he
could walk
could've-
on
he-
roofs too if he wanted to.
Yeah, he
Or
could.
he has a hard time.
Either way, he knew he could have killed him more, but he wanted to make him run and suffer. He takes great pleasure in scaring you and with the terror that you feel before he kills you.
Right.
He gets off on that.
Right.
So to
So
me,
I'm just saying, but I agree with you. Again, like you said earlier, that Loomis's last minute attempt to reach out to him, go home.
but he's always done that.
Oh,
though.
and I it's funny is I've seen this movie 1,000 times too, and the thorn mark on the wall, for some reason it popped out this time.
They call it the Thorn Trilogy. I don't remember seeing
I
the
didn't
Thorn
see,
in 4.
there was no thorn in 4. The first time you see it is on
It's 5, right?
Right,
But-
and it's on the opening credits where you see Mike and you see it on his arm.
That was
But because
whack when
5
he-
is connected to 4 and then ends with 6. That's
Yeah.
why it's called the Thorn Trilogy, because
But-
it started from here.
You know what
and
was
ended there.
whack when Michael burned the thorn on the hay? Come on.
Yeah. No,
I was
that?
cool with that.
Remember, it was like a big, like he's really gonna design. I don't know, man.
I was okay with that.
Yeah,
That was
cool with
whack.
that?
And I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
if
let
I
me
can,
why.
here's
I
the
love
reason
how
why.
Vito gives passes for this. Awesome, man.
Here's why. If I can accept everything else in the prior 4 films he's been
Right,
in,
right.
I'm not gonna nitpick that, because at that point,
Yeah, the whole thing would be
nothing he should
right.
be doing should work. I should be finding faults in everything that he does. But
That's a
Besides
good
getting
point.
shot at the end of part 1, what faults would you have?
he got fucking blown away in 4.
No.
burnt up in 2.
I said besides getting shot in part 1, what else? What other faults would you have with part 1? When it comes to Michael Myers?
the fact that he's always out there. If you think he's always mysterious, is he a lot? Is he real? Is he not real? Like okay, not false. Let me back this up. Let me clarify this. People say, well, Mike brought up a good point. He put up I'm sorry, but the thorn symbol, right? But it all goes into why you can't nitpick anything because look at everything that he does. You know what I mean? He somehow magically appears. Like for instance, he somehow made it to the hospital faster than the nurse did, right? And he's right there watching her. Like he knows where to pop up at. He's always there.
That's fair when you look at it like that.
So if you want to there's nothing to nitpick because there's so many things that. How do you explain that he does what he does? How did he even know where Lori fucking lived? Right. Or be out there? And why was it that he just has this obsession with her if she's just a random person? You know what I mean? Right. How did he know that Jamie Lloyd was his niece and would know where to go and where to find her and where to go through her shit?
Well, they in the opening scene of part 4, they say in the ambulance, he says that the only family member is the daughter of his sister.
But where would he know how she would be at? That's what I'm just saying. So I can't sit there and nitpick the thorn symbol when there's so many other examples we could question. Just let it be.
But what's like in terms of like supernatural? Besides him getting shot and getting up, what was supernatural about him in part 1?
You don't really see his eyes. You never see his eyes. There's always that darkness in the mask. I mean, you see his eyes when he removes the mask.
But that's not to do with supernatural.
Yeah, Carpenter said he's maybe he's supernatural, maybe he's not.
It's ambiguous. He took the shot.
That's just what.
Yeah,
he
but
said.
this.
Okay, I don't think he's supernatural.
The thorn shit is supernatural shoved down your throat.
Yeah,
but the ambiguousness is the brilliance of it.
But it's just supernatural. It's not. We have to understand that after so many movies in, it's just saying, hey, guess what? Yeah, he is supernatural. Because never mind the gunshots. If you want to argue, okay, he took some gunshots, maybe he didn't hit any major arteries. He still fell off a 2-story house on his back. Why was it? And yet he got up, no big deal. Mm-hmm. Or how he can crash through a
that's why he was sore, and that's why he moved like a robot in part 2.
Then how do you explain he walked through a double glass door?
Oh, that was rage.
Then that would mean by definition that Laurie Strode is supernatural in 1 and 2, if they're the same bloodline.
There you go.
Maybe.
I take him going through the glass as rage, and just straight up rage. You know what I'm saying? Like where someone's just to that point where he's just fuck this shit.
No, he was walking too calmly.
He killed.
2, I don't think Laurie is supernatural. I'll take that back. He is just. He's possessed by some sort of demon.
That's whack to me.
He's something about devil. He's about hell incarnate. He is from hell.
He killed Judith, right? His sister. Right. She didn't make it.
Right.
So wouldn't
his soul is tainted.
Be supernatural too, right?
His
the
soul,
same bloodline.
Right. Yeah. She should be alive.
Right. He is a tainted, dark soul. We don't know how deep that darkness goes.
And the beauty of it is the mystery, and I think the thorn.
I agreed.
It killed it to me. But anyway.
And I won't disagree with Spawn on that one. But that's also what makes it so
guilty
pleasure because that's what they did in the '80s. Like fucking Freddy Krueger got a backstory.
That worked. No, I think Freddy's backstory worked.
Okay, so let me ask you this: a man who attacks children gets reincarnated, kills them in their dreams.
Right.
Makes no fucking sense. He would have burnt in hell based on all religious facets.
It was just a supernatural thing.
His
whole thing is supernatural. Freddy is supernatural.
Let's stick to Halloween.
Yeah, we'll stick to Halloween. Okay. So anyway, all right. So again, like you said, the last minute attempt to reach Michael in the woods. I thought that was great. Let's see. Danielle Harris, her acting. I thought she was great. The Native American tear was like the commercial from the 70s where the guy throws the trash out and just, the guy has the tear. I thought that was ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
Loomis, fucking up with, getting with Mike, it was cool. Long awaited them having a one-on-one.
Black man in the mask and robe.
That was garbage.
Yeah,
this ending is probably the worst. So 4 I thought was the best. 5 is probably the worst. I just hate it.
Out of the trilogy.
Out of the franchise, maybe.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, definitely it's at the bottom of the list. Now, go ahead and tell us how good 5 is.
I know. I like 5. Here's the thing, no. I like 4 and 5, but 4 and 5 is a notch below the first 2, with starring Michael Myers. That's just without a doubt. Mm-hmm. And I was telling Mike too. It seems weird that 4 and 5 are connected together, right? Mm-hmm. Just like 1 and 2 are connected together, just like Resurrection is connected to H2O.
Right.
And I wonder if people will agree with this, that it seems like whenever they do the the follow-up to a standout movie. So 1 was a great movie that blew up.
Right.
When 4 came out, it did gangbusters. It was like number 1 for 2 weeks, from
Right.
what Mustafa was saying, right?
Yep.
And H2O was well received. People hated Resurrection, hated 5, and 2 didn't get the love that it gets now.
Right.
I think it's very unique in the series.
That's a great point.
That the follow-up sequels to a standout entry is never well received.
Right.
It just seems to be the curse of the series. It feels like,
and that's a great point.
and I wonder,
I like that.
And if Halloween Kills and Halloween End will have a similar fate when it comes out.
I hope not. We'll get to that.
Let's go to 6.
I hope not. Okay, so 6. I don't remember the theatrical cut at all. He told me to buy the producer's cut.
Yeah, the producer's cut's where it's at. It is. So I'll take over this one. Let me start.
Yeah,
this is his baby.
So watching 6, I remember seeing the trailer and getting this real amped up about it, right? And we see the movie. I was on a date at the time, and I just felt so let down. Like I thought this movie was going to be so much harder than what it was, and then what we got was just a jumbled mess. Like I felt like they, in the theatrical cut, due to the editing process, because they didn't have faith in the producer cut, they hacked up the movie just to make it a standard slasher film that touched upon the druid elements that they were supposed to talk about in 6, right? So you felt cheated off of that. The kills, they were okay. They were okay. I mean, it was the movie. Let me convey this the best way I can. I just felt like the way the trailer came off, I thought the movie was going to be a lot harder than what it was, and I felt the end result was a movie that was a lot that played it was so much dummied down from everything. I was my letdown. Like I didn't like the ending. I thought was kind of like very 90s-ish. I don't know how, and because I don't know how else to describe it. Michael being down with green blood. It just kind of felt like it ran off the rails from what it was supposed to be concluding. Like it was supposed to conclude 4 and 5, and I felt like all it did was go off the rails and win its own territory, and I never got the appropriate follow-up or conclusion to what was talked about at the end of 5. It just kind of just went, yeah, 10 years later, he banged his sister, had a nephew, now he wants to kill the nephew. So they brought back Tommy Doyle. And I love Paul Rudd, but again, it didn't feel like the movie, the way it was edited, went anywhere. Where the producer's cut, it's so much more coherent. The characters are much richer. Everything makes sense as to what's going on. And yes, say what you will about the Man in Black at the end of 5, but that's what they had to work with. So when they started to work on number 6, the idea was like, hey, we get it has a jumbled history. We do need to clear this up though. And they specifically hired someone to do that job, and then they kind of pushed out at the end when they got the final product and hacked everything up and re-edited the film. Where to me, the producer's cut, and say what you will about the Man in Black in 5, I won't argue with you on that. But the whole purpose of 6 was to wrap everything up and just to end it. Well, the producer's cut actually does that for me. And again, this is all subjective. You may feel differently about it, and that is fine, and I understand and I can appreciate that. But for me, when I watch 4, 5, and 6, it's the right way to end the Thorn trilogy because they actually go in it hard enough to where they link up 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. Whether or not you agree with how they did it is completely subjective, but at least they acknowledge everything that came before it and tied up the loose ends. And I thought it was to this day, I don't know why Dimension Films did not have faith in the producer's cut of Halloween 6. Because the Crystal Michael Myers that came out, it did well enough that they spawned 2 more sequels, but I think that's because Scream came out and they realized they had a franchise that they can milk off of again. But to me...
Well, this was before Scream.
Okay.
But
I'm talking about why they ended up doing another sequel anyway, because
gotcha.
the success of Scream
and
led them to go to what else do we own? Okay, we have Halloween, let's do that. But we'll get into it at that point. Mm-hmm. But I really do feel the producer's cut is much more coherent, and it tells the story that it's supposed to tell.
Okay.
It's kind of like with Alien 3. You have to appreciate Alien 3, you have to watch the producer's cut to get the full story, because when you take a full story and you cut out chunks of it, you leave either the audience unsatisfied or confused. And that's how Halloween 6 is, the theatrical cut. Because again, you're supposed to give me the follow-up to what happened at the end of 5. And the theatrical cut of 6 does not do that in any satisfactory way whatsoever to me. But with the producer's cut, yes, it acknowledges everything from 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, and I think it did it well enough.
What do you say? What do you think?
It was refreshing to see, even though this was Paul Rudd's first film, correct?
Mm-hmm.
It was refreshing for me to see him in a different role.
Wait, what was it?
No, this was introducing it. I think it said
Introducing.
But I thought
part.
Clueless came out before Halloween 6, though.
It might.
did.
This is the first time I've seen him. So for me,
okay, so Halloween 6 came out
1995.
Right, but it was like the winter of 95. Like
Okay.
Halloween.
So was it before or after
No,
Clueless?
Clueless came out in the summer of 95, even though this one says, I think,
It says introducing.
Yeah.
So anyways,
So I think they filmed it prior to, and then.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
for me, it was refreshing to see him in a different type of role. I really like the setup in his room.
Yes.
Stuff on the case. It kind of is reminiscent of true crime.
Right.
So I like that part about it. He was trying to figure out what happened to Michael at this point. I did like that aspect of it. He was a little creepy, a
Right.
little weird, kind
I have
of
that written down.
a little awkward.
And I think it's
going
because of
to
what he
him.
experienced in the
Right.
first movie. He was damaged from that.
And bullied.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I enjoyed that part of it. To me, a step up from 5 in that the Myers house looks more like the original than
But
Part 5
again,
did.
the problem is, again, going
Part
back to like you said, they're trying to do something, but it's frustrating as a fan that they just couldn't
Correct.
get that right.
If you, in my opinion, you got to try to get that right. Now, some of the cons for me are going to be no Danielle Harris,
Right.
and she wasn't a big fan of that as well.
Well,
Right.
she
And I
would have been
agree.
old enough to play.
She totally would
Teen.
have.
It was 7 years later when you put her at 12.
they didn't want to pay her. She asked for a certain amount of money,
They
which
didn't
I
wanna pay
think she deserved because, again, she was as her connection to Halloween is, in my opinion, the equivalent to Jamie Lee Curtis at
Absolutely.
this point.
And Loomis. Yep.
Yeah.
Because
and that's-
she was the center of focus of 4 and 5.
Yep.
You're coming back to 6 to see the conclusion of 4 and 5,
Right.
and because they didn't feel she was worth the money.
Mistake.
It's a mistake. It's a Thorn trilogy. How do you not get that right?
And
You know what I'm saying? That would be the equivalent then of not bringing Jamie Lee back
Absolutely.
to play Laurie Strode
Which
in
is
a
why-
sequel to 2.
Agreed, and which is why I think when the passing of Jamie Lloyd happened, it wasn't that impactful because it was portrayed by a different actress. Where I think if it was Danielle Harris in that death scene,
It would have hit
harder. Yes.
All right, so some more of the cons, the negatives for 6 that I picked up. There's a couple little things like when Jamie was running, holding the baby.
Right.
It was a blanket.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like they didn't even try. Just try to do
Well,
something.
it's a horror movie. I didn't expect him to use a real
I love
baby
it.
in that.
Passes, right? Passes.
gives everything passes, bro.
That's cool, man.
Except good movies. If it's a good movie, he'll
Was different. I'm going to hold you to a higher standard. I can't get mad at McDonald's worker for just giving me a Big Mac. I already know what I'm getting when I walk into that establishment. Now, if I go to a 5-star restaurant, yeah, I'm going to critique you a lot differently.
It was disturbing to me too, man, to see the baby get painted onto that thorn. You know, sitting there naked in front of those dudes with
Right.
the robes and shit. That was just kind of disturbing to me. That's
Right.
that's more subjective than.
To me, that felt like something from the early 80s, like those sword and sorcerer films, like the Beastmaster. They did something similar
Right.
where they did that, where they, you know what I mean? Where the
or like
witch-
the newer movies like Midsummer, that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Right.
I didn't see
the
the
Vitch,
Midsummer.
the Vitch, that type of
Okay.
stuff. You know.
Oh yeah, so the kid, right? What's this kid's name? Danny.
Oh, the
God,
little
yeah.
boy.
There was a part where, remember, he was screaming in terror. There was a point
Yeah.
where Michael's trying to get to him.
Yeah.
But then there's a scene where he actually goes to where Michael just killed somebody, kind of walks into the house, and
Yeah.
that girl had to chase him, which I thought that was kind of weird. One moment you're freaking out, the next
Right.
moment you're brave and you walk in.
Right.
Remember, he goes up the stairway.
Yes.
And Michael's there, so I thought that was kind of weird. I thought the whole cultist concept to me is whack. I don't think Michael is controllable in that
Thank you.
sense. Like I said, I get why they make choices.
Right.
You know, I don't want to shit on that. You know, trying to do something different. But for me, a cult, and though it didn't work because he wiped out a lot of them cats in that room, right?
He did. I would say, like, watch, if you get your hands on the producer's cut, and then watch 4, 5, and 6, but 6 being the producer's cut of that movie.
Right.
And there was a line in 2 that really caught my ear because I was watching 2 last night again. And there's a scene in the school where they're acknowledging that he wrote in blood Sam Hain, and Loomis starts going over the history. And he says the Druids felt by sacrificing one of their own from their clan, the rest of them would be safe. That tied into 6, the producer's cut explaining why he's controlled by things. So the whole point they're saying is Michael was chosen to do what he does to eliminate his family bloodline so the rest of the world would be safe.
Spawn's not buying it.
Well, Spawn doesn't buy a lot of things, but... And I agree, it is out there, but again, we didn't write 4 or 5, it's just what they had to work with, you know what I mean? Because of what 5 did, they had to make sense on that, so the writer of 6 went through everything and tried to find as much that he could to tie all the movies together.
Another kind of downfall for me was the annoying dad. I mean, it was a good
dad was
payoff
an asshole.
to see him get killed the way he did. That was a good setup for the payoff of that.
He was. Now let me ask you this: the actor looked familiar.
Very
I
familiar.
forgot he was in something. I think he was also in RoboCop.
Let me look him up.
I think he was also. I'm not sure. I think he might.
He looks very familiar.
Yeah, he looked and sounded very familiar, but I can't think of a movie I seen him. But I just know like I seen him somewhere.
Yeah, I think he was also in RoboCop. You give me the hot tag because I'm ready to fucking.
Oh, you're gonna get it.
All right, so this whole Halloween 6 gives me Jason Goes to Hell vibes, where let's try something new with something established, and I respect that. Again, I'm all about trying something new, but this was so out there, it just didn't fit. It didn't feel like it belonged in the whole franchise. Even 4 and 5, even though they're not perfect, they fit. They still kind of feel like they're part of the
because
whole,
it went really out there with the whole druid thing, right?
Right. At the time, I forgot that Mustafa Akkad got killed in a terrorist.
No, he was still alive.
No. But I'm just saying, when I watched it, when I wrote this down, I forgot that he had got killed in a terrorist act. But I was thinking, what an egomaniac. His name, Mustafa Akkad, and it's like 30 seconds, and then it says presents, or whatever. I take it back because how he got killed. Sick opening kills by Michael. The burnt hand was good, but it's that
the
thing of the horrible 90s versions of my favorite 80s characters. So New Nightmare, I think it's super boring. We'll talk about it in a later episode. Jason Goes to Hell, we talked about it last episode, how much I fucking despise it.
I like it.
Halloween, of course. Halloween 6, all shit. All 3 of them that came out in the 90s for Halloween, their 90s installments, Freddy,
failed.
Jason, miserably. Awful. Now, however you feel about the THORN trilogy, one thing to me that's a positive, again, Donald Pleasance, just having him in there adds credibility.
Now let me stop you real quick because you seen both the producer's cut and theatrical cut, right?
Yeah, but I don't remember the theatrical cut. So I didn't see this in the theater. Y'all brothers saw this in the theater. You should tell your theater story again. I didn't see this one in the theater. So at the time, when I first moved back to California in like the late 90s, my girlfriend at the time and I went to go see Scream. She never saw the Halloween, so we went to Hollywood Video, we rented all of them, and that's when I first saw this one, and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? You know what I'm saying? And I enjoyed 4 and some parts of 5, but this shit was like the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
It was a jumbled mess.
Yeah, and so, but I don't remember it because that was the only time I ever saw it.
So let me ask you this then, because you brought up Donald Pleasance. Did you enjoy Donald Pleasance in the producer's cut, his storyline, and how he was working?
Yeah, and I also like the fact that the first thing he says is, I had some skin graft to my face, so I don't scare little children anymore. You know what I'm saying? So they acknowledge the fact that they're not gonna, to me, I think he might have wrote that in because this sounds like something he
didn't want to deal with the makeup, and 2, they explained why he was so slow, that he had already had a couple strokes, and that's why he was slowing down.
Right, and at that time, it made perfect sense for him to be slow. He couldn't be Van Helsing of 1977, 78 or whatever. He had to be, So I'm always, I'm like I said, I'm biased when it comes to Loomis. I think this had the first bathroom scene of the franchise, which there's going to be many more to come. The kid Danny with the knife was what I thought was well done. Where he pulls the knife out on the
asshole dad.
Yeah, his granddad.
That was a good move.
But that psychic connection that shit still sucks to me. I think that's whack. Had it been Danielle Harris, of course, when she died, it would have been benefited. The Strode mom.
She's from Better Off Dead.
So the thing with her, she looked like a stereotypical Midwest mom. So she was good. She looks like Lorraine from Mad TV. If you don't know that character, look up Lorraine from Mad TV. Okay. It looks just like the mom from Halloween 6. But what the fuck is Loomis just walking into this bitch's house like they know each other? You know what I'm saying? Oh, by the way,
because he's Loomis, he can do that.
No, he can't. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was whack. She had some strong acting. She was a good actress. Sam Haines shit was cool. I don't know. I just didn't think it got pulled off. I was intrigued with the Sam Haines stuff always. I always thought that was strong, but I don't think they conveyed it good.
Because it was. Oh, you're talking about the producer's cut?
Just in general, the producers. Yeah, the only one that I remember is the producer's cut because I've seen it most recently.
I do agree. To me, Loomis was more natural and comfortable in retirement.
Right.
For this one, you know what I mean.
Again, the whole voices, the Michael hearing voices and shit. The radio dude was a total douche.
I agree.
What I'm saying? I was glad he died, which defeats the purpose. He becomes the anti-hero, you know. Right. I like the nod to Rear Window with
Tommy Doyle looking from
the thing.
Sure.
I dug that. And the fact that Michael is a soldier for the Thorn cult, I thought diminishes and is beneath.
I don't think he was a soldier. I think
it's beneath Michael Myers to be a soldier for anybody. He is a single entity. He is a one-man show. He's a one-man act. He's
a one-man act, and he's Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasance.
No, I'm saying him as a killer, as a character. You know what I'm saying? To have him be a soldier for Thor, to have him be Vader to the guy's Emperor does not work. So I thought that shit was whack, midsummer bullshit, ruined. I don't know. I just the switcheroo was cool at the end where it's Mike in the mask and.
So let me ask you this. Now, this is my theory on this.
All in all, it's a fucking F-.
Now hear me. Now this is my theory on that. So now that you saw Mike do the switcheroo at the end, right? Did it make the switcheroo at the end of H2O going to Resurrection more plausible, knowing that he did it once, he could do it again?
Yeah, it does.
Now, and is it also possible, not to jump the gun, or we can?
We can, because it's going to go right into it, so go ahead.
Do you feel...
If it's cool...
If using the producer's cut only, right? Could you say the producer's cut ties in continuity A, B, and C, because it ties in Jamie Lloyd with Laurie Strode, and the fact that Mike went ahead and knows how to take off the costume and blend in just to hide like everybody else to go about his business. 2, is it plausible based on the age and the fact that 1998, she had her when she faked her death to save
Jamie
Lloyd, when she faked her death, is it possible she had another son out of wedlock and kept her son with her and established a whole new identity, becoming a dean in H2O?
That's, if you want to put that mind canon thing, that, I'm okay with it.
Do you think it's plausible that Jamie didn't know she had a brother that was a year younger than her? Probably happened somehow happened in wedlock.
I mean, that's cool and everything.
Cool.
But I don't like the fact that the cult exists, and
You're right. But I'm just saying, as a producer's cut though, at the end, when Michael frees himself from everybody, and you realize he took off everything to walk out in public and blend in with everybody. Is it possible that when Laurie Strode faked her death so Jamie Lloyd would be separated from her, she had a son out of wedlock and decided to keep her son only because she already changed her name and is no longer Laurie Strode anyway, and then kept him as the one remaining piece, and she changed her whole identity and became a
but the thing is the thing with Loomis just defeats your whole premise, because Loomis she had died of a heart attack years earlier.
Okay, now years earlier could have been in 1996 because it was 2 years after. Remember, H2O was 1998, so you could say years earlier is representing is talking about 1996. Maybe he died right after the whole.
Maybe
I would separate the Thorn trilogy from H2O and anything.
Right.
So you see it as a separate continuity altogether.
I wouldn't think to even attach those. Me personally.
Right, because I don't like the cult aspect.
Right. But when you get an opportunity, if you're able to order it or view it or however you get it, watch the producer's cut and then look when you get to the ending.
What cut do you have? What's the cut you have?
I got the regular cut. By the way, the Michael in this one to me moved probably the worst out of the entire franchise.
Halloween 20 or Halloween
6?
Oh yeah.
He was flailing his arms too much. I thought he was a little too heavy.
Right. Yeah, like I wrote down, like, when did Gandolfini, James Gandolfini, dress as Michael Myers?
Did you feel that way? His movements were the same way in the producer's cut, or no?
Yeah, he was. All of a sudden, he was a fat fuck in the middle. You know what I mean? I'm like,
well, he is middle aged. I'm sure he gained some of that dad weight.
Yeah,
I mean, he had a kid,
dad
so
bod.
he had
dad
weight.
Late at night.
But I mean, I have no love for 6 at all. There's no redeemable anything. One thing I want to jump back real quick that I
Shouts
did
out
like.
to 6 Mask, by the way.
Yeah, he loves
Number
6.
Mask. But, yeah.
And it is a great mask. But one thing about 5 that I like that I wanted to bring up that I felt never got props is right before Rachel gets killed, which hurt me. I felt they killed her too early. But I love the character, so there was the horror, like we talked about earlier. But when she lays down on the bed, when Tina lays down on the bed, you see a clown there, right? There's a clown on the bed that I believe it looked like Mike. Like, the red and the white.
Okay.
Yeah, the red and the white, I believe. Okay. So I thought that was a nice little foreshadowing, But anyway, so let's go to 20, H2O. You set it off.
You want me to set it off? 20?
Yeah.